In a fractured realm where reality warped around titans and beasts, the sky trembled as Francesco, a Viltrumite of unmatched power, descended from above. His landing alone cracked the earth, a shockwave of sheer presence. With Titan's strength coursing through his veins and the fear machine weapon humming with primal dread, Francesco stood not just as a warrior, but as a symbol of absolute dominance. He had no equal. At least that's what the world believed. Across the continent, word of his latest target spread. The culprit, a dwarf with a curious streak and a stubborn sense of justice, had unknowingly challenged Francesco's influence by seizing an ancient artifact that corrupted heroes. Though small and seemingly weak, Justin Bieber's strength and stupid intelligence, culprit had a knack for surviving. His netherite skin made him unusually resilient, and his fighting style, classified as elite, made him unpredictable. But Francesco wasn't just strong, he was a walking extinction-level threat. His celestial speed, omniguard durability, and the chilling ability to generate beasts made him a one-man apocalypse, and he was coming. Culprit stood on the jagged edge of the northern cliffs, artifact glowing behind him. He clenched his axe and squinted into the wind. He could feel the storm in the sky wasn't weather. It was Francesco. The battle of polar opposites was about to begin. Max versus Min, hero versus hero. Francesco didn't believe in mercy. Culprit didn't believe in running. Francesco didn't speak when he landed. He didn't need to. His presence alone sent wild animals fleeing for miles, and the sky grew quiet, unnaturally still. Behind him trailed shadows of twisted beasts, creatures born from his generate beasts ability, each snarling, deformed, and loyal only to their summoner. Culprit stood his ground. "You know why I'm here," Francesco finally said, voice low and charged with celestial echo. "I don't care," Culprit muttered, gripping his axe tighter. "You won't take this from me." Francesco smiled, and that was worse than any threat. He raised his hand, and the fear machine came to life, a pulsating weapon of unknowable design, forged to crush hope and ignite panic in the souls of enemies. With a surge of energy, it unleashed a howl, sending a shockwave of despair directly at Culprit. The dwarf's knees buckled, his heart raced. Despite his netherite durability, his fear of insects was exploited. Francesco had summoned a dozen swarming beasts that resembled nightmarish insects the size of wolves. Culprit slashed, backed up, and rolled through dirt and ash, barely surviving. But Francesco wasn't done. With a blur of celestial speed, he appeared behind Culprit in a flash, lifting the dwarf off the ground with one hand. "You're not worthy of this world," he said. Culprit spat blood and laughed through the pain. "Neither are you." He jammed his axe backward, a lucky hit, into Francesco's leg. It wasn't much, but it caused the Viltrumite to stumble just enough. Culprit hit the ground and ran. Francesco's eyes narrowed. The game had begun. Culprit stumbled into the tunnels, ancient dwarven caverns winding beneath the battlefield. It was his domain, where his tunnel vision gave him clarity, where even the towering beasts of Francesco would be forced to crawl. But Francesco wasn't hunting like a man. He was descending like a god. The walls trembled as generate beast pulsed again. A swarm of hulking, half-molten creatures with eyes stitched shut and claws of stone skittered across the tunnel walls like spiders. Culprit hacked wildly, his elite fighting instincts kicking in, slicing down abominations, breathing heavy, blood mixing with sweat. Up above, Francesco's fear machine fed on the dread below. It pulsed with black energy, converting fear into power. Suddenly, silence. Culprit pressed his back to a wall. His torch flickered, dying. Then came the voice, echoing through rock like thunder. "You hide well, dwarf, but I create the things you fear." A crack tore through the tunnel. Francesco burst through the stone itself, glowing with celestial energy, eyes blazing white. His cape of torn steel danced behind him like wings of a fallen angel. Culprit screamed and charged. The clash was violent. Axe met fist. Francesco's blows shattered stalactites and cracked the floor. Culprit's strikes rang against Viltrumite's skin, barely denting it. but he was fast, desperate, landing a blow to Francesco's ribs that drew a rare grunt. For a moment, just a moment, it looked like the dwarf might turn the tide. But then Francesco raised his hand again, and from the ground erupted a final beast, massive, multi-eyed, its mouth full of culprit's worst nightmares. Insectoid, clicking, staring. The dwarf froze, and that's when Francesco struck. Culprit dropped his axe, not from fatigue, but paralyzing terror. The beast before him, conjured from Francesco's mind and powered by the fear machine, was crafted with precision. Long segmented limbs, insect wings fluttering with a high-pitched whine, mandibles dripping with acidic saliva. It was the embodiment of Culprit's fear of insects, only magnified and made real. Francesco hovered behind the creature, arms folded, eyes cold. "Even the strong fall, Culprit," he said. "But those ruled by fear, they never rise." The beast lunged. Culprit turned to run, but the tunnel collapsed behind him. Another mental pressure applied by Francesco's powers. It wasn't just brute force he wielded, it was psychological domination. Every echo, every flicker, every hallucination was planted, or real. He wouldn't let the dwarf tell the difference. The insect beast pinned Culprit, fangs inches from his face. He shrieked, curling into a ball, muttering dwarven prayers. But none would save him. Francesco descended slowly, pulling back the beast with a gesture. "I won't kill you," he said calmly. "You'll do it to yourself, over and over, in your dreams." He turned, cape sweeping dust behind him. Outside, dawn broke across the ruins of the battlefield. Francesco, the Viltrumite, with celestial speed and godlike strength, walked alone among the silence. His generate beast's ability slithered to sleep, retreating back into the void. Another battle won, another fear harvested, and above all, another reminder that even the strongest weapons meant nothing when you were already broken inside.